then didn't even qualify for the championship held in Turkey in 2013. So they're looking to, move themselves up in the world ranking and prove that really that silver medal was no fluke. It wasn't the hometown luck. They want to be able to prove that they are a legitimate contender.
We want to welcome all those who are watching us, whether it's in Canada, somewhere in this country, or anywhere indeed around the world, maybe in Turkey, maybe in Brazil. Glad to have you along, or somewhere else on the globe, as we'll bring you all the events, all the games here at this event, the World Championships in Toronto.
That's right. The funding partners for this event, Rob, Government of Canada and, of course, the Province of Ontario with their sport hosting program, really making a huge difference. And, of course, our host, International Wheelchair Basketball Federation, they're the federation in charge of developing and governing wheelchair basketball throughout the world. And Wheelchair Basketball Canada pioneers in a lot of things in the sport. 20 years ago, the first ever U23 championships held right here in Toronto. Canada won the gold, and we're hoping for a little bit of mojo for Team Canada in that regard. But right now, we've got the favorite Turkey up against Team Brazil.
These two teams are part of Pool A, along with Australia, Italy, Canada, and Iran. All the teams in the pool will play each other once in the preliminary round, and then we'll move on through the playoff round. It is Turkey in white. It is Brazil in blue. Big number 7s will both be on the tip. For Turkey, it's Ahmet Efe-Türk, 21-year-old. And for Brazil, it is Francesco de Nelson Sampaio. Ten-minute quarters in wheelchair basketball. Most of the rules are the same as in standing basketball. The baskets are the same height, 10 feet. And here we go. It's Brazil with the opening tip. Sousa. Rayson Sousa. Drops it for Anderson da Silva. Long shot. Won't fall. Scooped up by Gunaydin. And out of his reach, out of his grasp.
Well, Grenadin there electing to dribble with his right hand, even though the defender was on his right side, forced the turnover.
Brazil still with time on the shot clock. Da Silva. He sees a little mismatch, but he's short on the shot. Collected by Efe-Türk, but then another poor pass. And back come Brazil again. And an offensive foul, you think?
Speaking of poor passes, I don't think the Brazilian player saw the Turkish defender in the lane there and sets his player up for a charge.
Ahmet Efe-Türk. Drops for Enes Bulut. Gunaydin puts one up and sinks it very calmly, and the first lead of the game goes to Turkey.
Well, that was cool, calm, and collected. And we'll see if Gunaydin can keep that up throughout the entire game.
Da Silva.
And there he swats one out of bounds.
Turkish player down and possibly injured on the play. Out comes the trainer.
Didn't see what happened in the back court there, but often what happens, Rob, is you roll up on somebody else's wheel and end up sort of tipping yourself over sideways. Especially with that single fifth wheel like he has, you can then end up sort of spiraling backwards.
It was Ali Kabak-Kulak-Kler, and he seems to be all right.
It's easy for you to say.
Yeah. Gunaydin from Istanbul. Bulut. Underneath, Efe-Türk, and it's 4-0 Turkey.
The two big guys for Turkey, Efe-Türk and Gunaydin, really sweet shooting as well.
Wellington Silva. Francesco de Nelson Sampaio, and a steal by Turkey. So early opportunities by Brazil, they couldn't capitalize, and all of a sudden they're down by 4 and without the ball.
And it's going to be a long game, I think, for Brazil. This Turkish team, they are very slick. They're tall, they're quick, and they're smooth.
Afaturk. A lot of these players on the Turkish team, no doubt, would look up to the Galatasaray side, wouldn't they, the basketball team?
And it's like a religion. A second religion over in that part of the world, I guess.
Well,
and that's what sport does for you. It really does unite countries and communities.
Brazil with a long attempt, and that was too far for Sampaio.
And Sampaio kind of shot that one cross body too, so he didn't get a lot of accuracy with it.
Slashing move there by Afaturk underneath, and it is another basket. Bullet.
Wow, that was a tremendous pass by Afaturk there, right around the back of the Brazilian defender, right into Bullet's waiting arms. Nice pass too, Rob, because it was right in the shot, what we call the shot pocket. So he didn't have to drop the ball or bring the ball down or try to corral it. It was right there, ready for him to shoot right away. And boy, this Turkish team is really slick.
Yeah, they've come out flying. Scoring the first 6 points, not quite 3 minutes into the opening quarter.
And while we're in the timeout, I'll take a moment to thank a couple of our official partners. Sunrise Medical, of course, a world leader in the development, design, and manufacturing of sport wheelchairs, including the popular Quickie brand, which a lot of players use. We'll have a Quickie player of the game coming up in the Japan-France game, but in this game it'll be the Toyota Canada player of the game. Toyota, the official vehicle of Team Canada's wheelchair basketball teams and the official mobility partner of this tournament.
They've really stepped up, haven't they?
Well, an event like this, obviously not cheap to run. A lot goes into it, and boy, I'll tell you, Wheelchair Basketball Canada, Rob, does an outstanding job of running these tournaments. You know, the 2015 first ever, or the 2011, I should say, under 25 women's tournament, first ever, held the women's tournament here. Senior women, 2014, that Canada won. You and I and Marnie called that final game. And here we are, the 20th anniversary of the U23 championships.
Underneath for Da Silva. And it was a good idea to try to feed Deus, but he just couldn't connect. Back comes Afaturk. Bullet. And a rare miss.
A little bit of grandstanding by all the players as they bump into each other trying to draw the foul.
Yeah, referee decides that neither is going to be given. And we're going to have
interesting call there on the jump ball.
Possession arrow pointing the way of
I think
Turkey.
Anderson De Silva was going to try to draw the foul there, but didn't quite turn his arms over enough to get that contact on the arms. Instead, it's a jump ball.
Bullet and Afaturk. Looks like they've got some great chemistry together. And back in possession again for Turkey. Bullet. Gnaiden. Yep.
Nice little bank shot from Gnaiden, and he's another player that holds the ball really high when he shoots. Really, really tough to block him.
Sampaio underneath for Da Silva. And we've got a foul here against Turkey.
It looked like Afaturk, I think it was Afaturk, reached over the top of Anderson De Silva and made contact with his arms, so that'll be a foul against him.
So Brazil still on the hunt for their first points. And when you have to settle for those shots from long range, Afaturk brings Turkey right back in. And beautiful.
Beautiful left-hand scoop. Went around De Silva like a hoop around a barrel that time, Rob.
Grayson Douglas da Silva Sousa. We'll just call him Sousa with the ball. Handling for Brazil. Tries to throw underneath, but tried to force it. Didn't work. Afaturk.
And there's players down all over the court, but I tell you, Turkey really fast on the breakout. And when you're that fast, all it takes is a little clip and over you go.
Substitution coming in for Brazil. Into the game comes Felipe Gonçalves. And out comes Anderson Braz da Silva.
You know, De Silva had a few good looks at the basket while he was in there, but it looked like he was shooting across his body, and that's really inefficient.
Bullet. Afaturk with a nice recovery. And then gets fouled.
And Afaturk got the shot away, too.
His first, team's third.
A little lackadaisical on his foul shots there, though. That release is a little bit wobbly. See what he does on this one.
And it goes 11-0 for Turkey. Gonçalves off the bench with the ball. Sousa underneath. And still Brazil can't get that first one. That was Sampaio's miss. Gunaiden. And it falls.
Well, the height mismatch that Turkey has with their three big guys really wreaking havoc on Brazil's defense.
Again, Brazil just trying them from downtown.
It's not a bad shot because nobody's checking you. Turkey's all back down inside the key.
Gunaiden, Afaturk, Gunaiden, give and go. That time it's a miss and rebounded by Brazil. Sousa kind of falls on his own. And recovered by Kabak Kulekler. But by the time I say his name, he no longer has the ball.
That's right.
Afaturk. So 3:45 to go in the opening quarter. First game of the tournament for both of these teams.
So the Turkish team's outside offense, not that good. So if I was Brazil, I'd be packing it in and trying to force those outside shots. There's another one that misses.
Well, I can see some other teams scouting as well. The Canadian team has got their coaching staff in attendance, no doubt trying to pick apart whatever they can see from the Turkish side. And as I'm sure Turkey was here earlier watching the Canadian team. So the Americans practicing just a short time ago on the other side of this Mattamy Athletic Center. Seemed like a spirited practice as well. Trying to bounce back from their loss earlier today.
Well, I can't imagine that their coach is too terribly happy about that performance this morning.
Substitution for Brazil. Into the game comes João Paulo Madureira. Turkey still with a dozen seconds on the shot clock. Bullet. Afaturk. Short, but stolen again. And a new shot clock for Turkey. Gunaiden. Little fade, and it won't fall. Dedeus quickly across, and here comes Brazil. Slow it down again. Sousa. And there it is. First basket for Brazil. It's João Paulo Madureira. Bullet underneath and in. They get it right back.
Well, there's nothing worse than, score your first basket. You're all excited, and the other team comes back and scores an easy one. At least you got to make them work for it to get a little momentum going.
Gonçalves. But they get it back again with a shorter shot clock. Sousa. Madureira tries to go off the glass. Gonçalves, and the shot clock runs out. It was a short clock for Brazil.
Yeah, that shot of Madureira's did not hit the rim, therefore there was no reset on the shot clock. And if I was one of the shorter Brazil players, I think I'd be thinking twice about going inside the key against those three big Turkish players, unless I had a fast break.
Well, I think they are thinking twice about it, and that's why the shots are coming from long range.
Yes.
Bullet. Gonaiden. Bullet. Nice little give and go.
That's it, folks. That's your classic give and go. Works in pretty well any sport where there's invasive actions happening. What a great play by the young Bullet.
Grayson Souza has it go off his chair, stolen, and then he steals it back again. Underneath for Madureira, doesn't work, but they keep the ball.
Well, it went off a Turkish hand because there were two Turkish players down there about a foot taller. But Brazil just keeps insisting on making that tough inside pass. And man, oh man, you got to score a couple from the outside. If that's the way your game's going to go, you've got to make the defense be honest by scoring a few from mid-range at least.
Into the game comes Lucas Fernando dos Santos. And immediately gets a touch. Dos Santos looking for the shot, and he is fouled. No, it's an offensive foul.
Well, that was number 6, I think, Madureira, wasn't it? Who backed in on that pick. It almost looked like an NBA pick where a guy sticks his hip into the defender, and you get away with it in the NBA, but certainly not here. And I think Turkey's going to the coach is arguing there should be a foul shot, but it was an offensive foul, and you don't normally shoot those.
We're in the final minute of the opening quarter. Turkey, the European champions at the under 22 to qualify for this event, looking every bit that. Atatürk. Gonaiden.
Oh boy.
Slick.
Absolutely terrible defense by Brazil. There was no help defense. There was no attempt even to stop the roller from rolling in. That was just too easy for Turkey.
Gonçalves and Dos Santos. Madureira. Can't get a bounce either.
That's a good shot, though. He squared up nicely and took his time.
Wow, that's a brilliant play.
2 points.
Boy, Atatürk, he can really score at high speed. And just that pressure that he put onto Dos Santos, I should say, forced him into the 3-push violation. Of course, 2 pushes, Rob, and you have to dribble, pass, or shoot. The 3rd push is a violation.
Oh, that almost hit for Enes Bullet, but after 1 quarter of play, it is 21-2 for Turkey. They are well in control.
Yeah. That's all I can say. It's a real tough start for Team Brazil, and when we get the stats, there's going to be not much on there to get excited about unless you're cheering for Team Turkey. They've had a tremendous quarter. Brazil had a few good shooting opportunities, but the basket seemed to have a lid on it. Hopefully they can come out in the second half and step things up a little bit and hopefully get back in this game, but boy, oh boy, that was a dominating quarter by Team Turkey.
From playground to podium in their pursuit of sporting excellence.
We've got a couple other sponsors, I guess, Rob, we should mention. Add Up Display is the official display partner for the tournament. High quality portable frames, displays, information stands, accessories. And you can see those lining the court here, making it look very professional. Pivot Uniforms, of course, the official merchandise partner for the event. Make sure you visit their booth if you come to the games down in the East Concourse and get your limited edition men's U23 World Championship gear. Salis Fresh Foods and Kind Snacks,
the organizing committee of the
providing a nutritious sponsorship, and of course
U23 World
Canadian Paralympic Committee,
Basketball Championship is honored.
Ontario Wheelchair Sports, and the Courtyard by Marriott Toronto Downtown Hotel, the tournament hotel. It's about a 3 or 4 minute jaunt away. Really great hosts.
Well, we have wholesale changes virtually here on the Turkish side. Bulut stays into the game, but otherwise we've got 4 new players in for Turkey. Ebu Baker Yildirim, as well as Ahmet Umut Kandolasan. We'll get to the other names here as we go, but Bulut stays into the game. Enes Bulut, who has put up some good numbers here so far for Turkey with 9 points, leads all scorers in the game. It is Ibrahim Bagli trying to guard. He's one of the new players in as well for Brazil. Or for Turkey, rather.
Oliveira for Brazil went down inside the key there, so Brazil retains possession.
Rodriguez Oliveira for Madureira, short. And Kandolasan dishes out for Bulut. Right back to Kandolasan. Off the glass. And he gets fouled.
So Ganaiden, couldn't be Ganaiden with that foul. It was number 6, Madureira with the foul.
Madureira is second, team's first. At the line, Ahmet Umut Kandolasan for 2.
Now, smooth as they are inside, outside shooters, the Turkish team don't look quite as smooth. A little bit herky-jerky on their technique, although that one sure made me look like a fool, didn't he?
Yeah, that was a nice shot from Ahmet Umut Kandolasan. And again, the ball handler for Brazil, Rayson Sousa. Oliveira, Sousa. Again, they try to force it underneath for Madureira. Doesn't work. And back come Turkey. And an offensive foul against the Turkish side.
I think, can't tell what number that was. I think that's Bali, number 5. He was so busy looking to see which teammate was open, he forgot to check and see if anybody was in his path.
Ibrahim Bagli.
His first, team's first.
He gets help to get back upright. It'll be Brazil with the ball. Inbounding is Dos Santos. Sousa. Oliveira.
Oh boy, that was a bit of a ticky-tack.
So the foul against Volkan Gulam.
His first, team's second.
I think Gulam was a little bit miffed at that one.
Still 10 on the shot clock for Brazil to try to get something up. Try to penetrate inside, but Bulut again with the steal. And here comes Ibrahim Bagli.
This time Bally keeps his head up.
He does. Gulam comes in to help. In and out. And Mararera. Clean exit of the zone for Brazil. Looking for the screen. And just can't get the drop.
You know, Brazil's had some good looks the last few times around. Really just unable to capitalize.
Bullet. Ibrahim Bali. Bullet. And the foul against Brazil.
Looks like Dos Santos with that foul. And Bullet is just so quick out there. If you don't have really good chair position established, you're going to end up fouling him, and there we go again.
Dolasan. Gulam. Yes.
Oh, a brilliant play by Dolasan and Gulam. Again, no help defense from the Brazilians, so it made it easy for the Turks. But Gulam, instead of shooting the overhand shot where he would have been blocked from behind, elects to go with the scoop and makes a great play. Heads up play by Gulam.
Brazil does have some size in the way of João Paulo Madeira, but they just can't seem to get it to work yet.
Oh, another nice little pick and roll by Brazil that just doesn't go down. Dos Santos there with a wild shot once he got inside.
Bali fakes. Dolasan. Bagley underneath. And they get it to fall on the other end. And that was Abu Bakr Yildirim. Still just the 2 points on the board for Brazil. Sousa, Madureira. Oliveira, no, wasn't set right, was he?
He wasn't. He was kind of turned around facing the wrong way, but he still got a decent shot away. Brazil being really unlucky here.
Bullet. Bali. Long. In and out. Off the glass and in.
And Bali there with a little underducky as he faked and went underneath Oliveira.
Grayson Sousa. You can almost see his pleading eyes trying to find someone. There we go.
Pretty sure that was Madureira, was it?
It was indeed.
Yeah, he's getting inside nicely now. Instead of settling for those outside cross-body shots, he's getting inside, and that was a very nice play by Brazil.
Gulam the other way. This time it's a miss. Dos Santos under duress.
Going to be close to an 8-second call here, but they just get it over.
They do, but then lose the ball.
So Bale, who has some upper body impairment going on, unable as a 3-5 to get back in his chair.
Bullet, 1-on-2. Drops it off for Gulam. Dolasan. So they're playing 4-on-5 here. Dolasan, 5 on the shot clock. Up, short. Still no whistle. Oh, now we have a whistle.
I'm surprised they didn't call that one earlier because it actually happened while Brazil had possession of the ball. And when the turnover came and Turkey got possession, it should have been whistled down.
Halil Ibrahim Bagli comes off now. And onto the floor come Mevlet Erdenci. And back out Ahmet Efaturk for Turkey. So it's a 25-point lead already for Turkey with just under 5 to go in the opening half. These two teams will all the teams in the tournament will be kept busy and play every day here to start. That one is short. Tomorrow, Brazil will play Italy, and Turkey goes up against Iran. And Iran certainly showed an awful lot earlier today in their win against Australia. Atatürk, rather, that was Erdenci with a miss. And here comes Sousa. He won't shoot it and then loses the handle.
A little bit out of control there, Sousa, and of course, I think he's got his chair set up where his center of gravity is a bit too far back.
And bounces around, but Candola-san.
2 points.
Well, the Team Turkey is always able to have 3 tall players out there. Brazil right now with 2 tall players. So there's always a mismatch somewhere once you get inside the key.
That was Oliveira. He gets fouled, and he'll get a chance to shoot.
Well, despite the height of Team Turkey, Brazil has been getting inside an awful lot in this second quarter. Just not converting.
They do have some of their own height as well. I mean, Roger Oliveira shooting now. He's got some height. Madureira with some height.
True enough. But when you do the math, there's 3 of them, 2 from Brazil.
I know.
It just shouldn't happen, but anyway. Good for Brazil for figuring out a way to get inside and get those mismatches. Turkish player came into the key too soon.
2 over.
So the rule is that the foul shooters and the players behind the three-point line cannot enter the area until the ball hits the rim. Everybody else can go on the release.
Six points on the board for Brazil. Back home Turkey. Atatürk looking for some help. Tries to pass it inside but loses it. Sousa. There it is.
Well, that was a nice quick turnaround by Brazil after the miscue by Atatürk.
Offensive foul here against Turkey.
Turkey's foul number 13. Mevlut Erdici, his second team sport.
Of course, in the rule book, Rob, when you're guarding a ball carrier, you have to cover the complete path. When you're checking a player who doesn't have the ball, it's really who got there first. Personally, I'd prefer it if it was covering the path at all times, but
Brazil's substitution.
that time the Turkish player a little late getting over. And you can usually tell by the chair position, whether your axle is in front of the other player's caster. That's pretty well a guarantee that you're there first.
Sousa. And this is Rosa da Silva in the game. Back to Sousa. Quick little give and go. Almost worked. Erdenci. Atatürk. Dolasan. Yes, sir.
You get an 8-foot shot against a much smaller player. You get that mismatch going. It's, Brazil's doing a great job of getting inside against Turkey. They're just not converting, and coming back the other way, that mismatch really hurts.
Oliveira. Sousa. And a giveaway. Atatürk races back down. Takes his time and then goes down hard.
Sousa from Brazil, I don't think he really meant to do that. I'm not sure if we're going to get a chance to see the replay. But Atatürk is so darn fast. You've got to really give him a wide berth, or else
he cuts in.
You're going to end up fouling him.
You touch him, and there's going to be something.
Atatürk asking the referees for the unsportsmanlike foul call, but it really wasn't. It was accidental.
And he gets his own rebound after the miss. Dolasan. Across. Ardenci.
Now, if Turkey has an Achilles heel, Rob, I'm saying it's the outside shooting. It just does not look solid. Mid-range and inside, beautiful.
It was Lopez getting his first real touch of the ball.
It's called for a 3 push violation.
Afaturk gets Turkey on to offense. Under for Dolasan. Nice little spin shot and off the glass.
A lovely reverse left hand by Dolasan. That's very impressive. Oh no, that was right hand. Sorry, he's coming the other way. Not that impressive then.
Dos Santos. Lopez. Well, he hit mesh, but there's no through the rim first.
It was an open shot, but just a tad out of his range, I think.
Ardenci. Afaturk. That was just for posterity's sake, because that's not going to count.
Oliveira picking up a foul.
So we've gone pretty quickly here, almost through the first half, a minute 12 left. Turkey in control. It's Afaturk. Swings right. Looks for the screen. Tries to fade away, has it knocked away. Good play by Da Silva. Afaturk again.
But the help from Brazil, that time came from the offside elbow. That's a long way to come over. Top corner, offside elbow all the way down to the low block. And of course the player's there late and picks up the foul. Actually, no, he didn't pick up the foul. The referees identified that the shot clock had run out, and so Brazil dodges a bullet there. Not bullet, but you know,
I know
other
you
type
meant.
of bullet. Yeah.
Lucas Fernando dos Santos inbounding. And we'll do the ball handling now. 17-year-old Brazilian. Underneath for Lopez.
Well, Lopez nearly made the circus shot of his life.
Yeah.
As he was tipped up and over, got the shot away, so he'll go to the foul line.
Last summer at the Paralympic Games in Rio, the Turkish side was up against Great Britain in the bronze medal game, but came up short. But they had a bronze medal at the World Championships, the senior men's team in Korea 4 years ago, or 3 years ago, I guess it was. And they've become a real power in wheelchair basketball.
Well, they have a very, I guess, a very strong tradition of professional sport in Turkey. And wheelchair basketball has been swept up in that movement. So there's big money to be made playing for the Turkish club teams.
Well, and you're even getting Americans and Europeans who are coming over and playing for some of those teams and playing in the Super League.
And there's even a few Turkish players who have immigrated throughout the European Union and are on some of the other teams.
Ahmet Afaturk has been impressive here in the opening half. Underneath for Dolasan, wide open. Final half minute now, the first half. Da Silva, and it's Afaturk with the rebound. Ardenci, no, but Dolasan, yes.
Dolasan is just the master of the unusual bucket. You know, the one before he was flying down the middle and two-handed it. This one picks up some garbage, scoops it in.
An impressive opening half for Turkey. They lead 41-9 over Brazil at halftime here in the first game for both teams on day one of the men's under-23 World Wheelchair Basketball Championship.
With only the freshest of ingredients. You can redeem your ticket stub after the game at Salus for a 10% discount on your meal. Visit salusfreshfoods.com.
welcome to the Space Jam. Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
I might be too strung out on compliments, overdosed on confidence. Started not to give a f and stop fearing the consequence. Drinking every night because we drink to my accomplishments. Faded way too long, I'm floating in and out of consciousness, and they saying I'm back. I'd agree with that. I just take my time with all this shit, I still believe in that. I had someone tell me I fell off, ooh, I needed that. And they wanna see me pick back up, well, where'd I leave it at? I know I exaggerated things, now I got it like that. Tuck my napkin in my shirt cause I'm just mobbing like that. You know good and well that you don't want a problem like that. You gon' make someone around me catch a body like that. No, don't do it, please don't do it. Cause one of us goes in and we all go through it. And Drizzy got the money, so Drizzy gon' pay it. Those my brothers, I ain't even gotta say it. That's just something they know. They know, they know, they know. They know, they know, they know. They know, they know, they know. Yeah, they know, yeah. That the real is on the rise. Them other guys, I even gave them a chance to decide. Now it's something they know. They know, they know, they know. Yeah, I be yelling now, money over.
And we're inside the Mattamy Athletic Centre in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. The old Maple Leaf Gardens. And it's men's under 23 World Wheelchair Basketball Championships opening day. Rob Snook alongside Tim Frick as we get set for the second half of this game between Turkey and Brazil. And a dominating opening half for Turkey, really spreading the scoring around. Did get 10 points from Umut Dolasan, 9 points from Enes Bulut, and 8 points from Ahmet Afaturk. But, Coach, they really dominated this opening half.
Well, absolutely. And when you take a look at the team stats, it's a bit of a palindrome of shooting percentages. 61% for Turkey, which is extremely good. 16% for Brazil, which is extremely bad. However, to Brazil's credit, they did get inside quite a bit during the second quarter, just unable to convert.
And while you were talking, I was quickly looking at my phone what a palindrome was, so now I'm good. I understand that.
That's an old Monty Python joke. We'll take a moment here to thank a few of our sponsors, suppliers, and supporters. Salus Fresh Foods, Kind Snacks, Canadian Paralympic Committee, of course, Tourism Toronto, the Mattamy Athletic Centre, SportsCanada.tv, bringing you all the games, extremely good coverage. And I will mention, Rob, our schools program. During the day, we have a lot of school kids out here watching the games, and that's because we've got a special schools program that's been going on in the city for the past few months, introducing kids to wheelchair basketball, talking about accessibility and inclusion. This is the 20th anniversary of this tournament, first held here in Toronto in 1997. And lastly, wheelchair basketball is on the Canada 150 playlist, which is a celebration of Canadian sport in recognition of our 150th year since Confederation. Come out tomorrow and you can try the game, folks. 5 p.m. here at the Mattamy Athletic Centre.
And here we go, second half action. It's Turkey in white, Brazil in blue. Team Turkey, the reigning European champions. Ahmet Afaturk, very athletic, works it inside for Dolasan, and one.
Well, Sampaio, a little bit of bad luck there as he was overzealous in reaching to try to block that shot. And again, Brazil has no help defense, Rob. And so basically they're just playing like 2-on-2 on that one side. And as soon as one guy gets beat, they're in trouble and they're forced to foul.
Umut Dolasan. Dos Santos. Brazil. This recovery there by Silva. And nice shot by Da Silva.
That was Anderson Da Silva, and that time he had his shooting shoulder facing the hoop. Much better form, and a nice outside shot from Anderson Da Silva.
Afaturk. Ibrahim Bali. Oh, and a nice steal by Sampaio. And some good offense here by Brazil to start the second half. That's Anderson Da Silva again.
A pair of baskets by Da Silva, this time inside. Great breakout by Brazil. Moved the ball quickly on that steal by Sampaio, and Sampaio really anticipated that one well.
We should mention, Coach, that during the intermission, the halftime, the Turkish team really didn't take a break. They were immediately back on the floor practicing their shooting.
Well, when you're leading the game by that much, what can you say as a coach? Really, you probably end up screwing them up more than anything else. So better to keep your mouth shut, let them play.
Spoken from experience. Afaturk with time. The miss, but he gets his own rebound and makes no mistake.
Well, Dedus there being hooked by the Turk. I think it was Dolasan there. And allowing Afaturk to roll inside and get his own board.
Sampaio for Brazil. Underneath. and can't get the drop, but Da Silva does.
And there's that height of Brazil you were talking about, Rob. That's 2 in a row now where they've been a little bit taller inside and taken advantage of the mismatch.
Bagley. Turk from three-point land, trying to get the shot heated up, but no. And it's Da Silva quickly to Silva. Da Silva. Gotta be careful here, not going back over the timeline. Da Silva. Sampaio. Sampaio. No. Had 2 chances.
Nice job of getting his own rebound. Took his time, but still unable to convert.
Bali. And the pass misses for Dolasan.
I think Dolasan zigged when he should have zagged there. He had the lane wide open to the hoop. Bali saw it. Put the ball right there, but to an open space.
Silva. That was Da Silva, in fact. Turk slings it across. And what a play. Valley finishes.
That was a frozen rope, that pass, and Bali with a great scoop to finish it off.
Wellington Silva for Anderson Da Silva. We've got a foul here against Brazil.
Sampaio tried to go through a hole about half the size of his wheelchair and ended up picking up the offensive foul off the ball. That's his 3rd, Rob.
7.
And he's key for this Brazilian team, so you had better be careful in the next few minutes here.
Turk up. Not in. Collected by Silva. Da Silva. Sampaio. Never had a chance. Turk with a nice little volleyball pass ahead. Dolasan.
Dolasan with a couple of fakes in there to freeze the defender, and eventually ends up in drawing the foul. And, De Souza Silva with that foul.
Umat Dolasan, yes.
Dolasan having a strong game here for Turkey. He's being rewarded with the extra minutes.
Da Silva. Silva. And Turk can't come up with it. Da Silva. Sampaio. Off the glass and in. And a much better start to the second half here for Brazil.
So Brazil with the 2 big guys, Sampaio and Anderson Da Silva. Turkey with Turk, their 1 big guy, and then the 2 medium-sized guys, Dolasal and Bali. And that time, Brazil able to take advantage of that slight height mismatch.
So a jump ball earned by Brazil, and they have the possession arrow. We'll get a chance to look for another basket. Silva, steal by Turk. Valley, no. Sampaio for Brazil.
Wow.
Silva, yes.
He was looking for somebody to pass to. And I think all the Turkish players were looking to cover the receivers, and he sails right down the middle for the bank shot.
Brazil has scored more points in 5 minutes than they did in the entire opening half. Sampaio.
There's a 4-on-3 opportunity.
Silva. Da Silva. Nope. In fact, Brazil outscoring Turkey so far 10-9 to begin the third quarter. Still,
That's right. Efeturk misses what for him is normally a gimme. Oh, and that's why they use the 3 referee system, Rob, to catch what goes on in the back court. As Dos Santos there backing into Efeturk and picks up the foul. Ill-advised, by the way.
What fouls are advised?
Exactly.
There probably are some. This is Gürkan Taz with the ball. 17-year-old from Istanbul. Quickly passes off to Ahmet Efeturk. Dolasan. It's fouled.
Oh, boy.
Against Dos Santos.
Dos Santos caught there for hooking on the screen and roll. There really was no pick there. That's his third. So he's going to have to be a little more careful.
So Umut Dolasan gets a chance to keep piling up the offensive numbers. Well, much better 6 minutes of basketball here, that's for sure. And underneath, it is Sampaio.
Again, Brazil able to capitalize on the mismatch down low. This time matching up against one of the shorter Turkish players.
Tash, Efeturk. Time off the mark. And Turkey gets the ball back and then loses it. Sampaio. In it goes.
A little bit of a spark there for Sampaio as he comes by, gives the coach a low 5, and referee almost gets a low 5 as well as he was caught in the fray.
Bagley tries to force it inside. Efeturk with a shot. And is he fouled in the act of shooting?
Well, Dos Santos saying no, he didn't touch him.
Wow, what a nice recovery by Efeturk. 4th foul, by the way.
And Dos Santos really unlucky on that one, Rob. And, you know, I'll say it pretty well every telecast. You're going to get a couple of fouls because you're stupid. You're going to get a couple because the ref's stupid, and you really only got one that you can kind of gamble with. And that one, pretty obvious where I stand on that one.
Efeturk. Yes. Two for 2 for Ahmet Efeturk. Silva quarterbacking things. And the shot from Da Silva comes up short. Another chance. Now Da Silva again. No angle. Passes out for Sampaio. Still time on the shot clock.
Wow. That was an interesting play. Sampaio went from underneath the hoop all the way out to the three-point line for the sitting 3.
Tash, Efeturk, Bali. And almost a steal by Da Silva. Just 2 seconds on the shot clock. Efeturk puts it up. And it's off the mark, but does Brazil hold on? Yes.
And number 4 for Turkey, Tash, called on the loose ball foul. And that looks like the first foul called against Turkey in this quarter.
Gurkentage.
Oh, wait a minute. What am I talking about? That must have been on Anderson de Silva.
Yeah, it was.
I did not see that one coming. Even Tosh, I think, thought it was a foul against himself, but he's happy to take those foul shots.
Excellent foul shooting. Silva. Sampaio. And Da Silva.
Nice. Anderson de Silva there picking up the offensive board. And that time Efeturk chose not to challenge the incoming pass. Instead actually tipped that shot from Sampaio, and it ends up in de Silva's hands.
Actually, more points here in the third quarter for Brazil, 16-14, and now they have a chance to make that a 4-point spread. Of course, they were down a lot when it began, but still. And off of Brazil.
Yeah, Sampaio appealing to the referee that it went off the Turkish player's lap, but nothing doing there.
Just over a minute to play. Third quarter, opening game of the tournament for Turkey and Brazil. Long attempt by Efeturk. Off the mark, but still time to work. And from the corner, Bali.
And Bali took his time on that one, lined it up. Got good chair position, and that's one thing we have not seen the Turks do, is score well from the outside.
Wellington Silva. A good contingent of Turkish fans in the building, making their voices heard, so that's good. Have some energy.
You know, for a game where there's not too many people in the stands, it's awful loud here.
Halil Ibrahim Bagli for Efeturk. Dolasan looks, fakes, Efeturk. Bagli. Foul against Sousa, who's been fairly quiet here in the second half. Third foul, though, against Sousa.
Sousa was just a little bit aggressive, extending on that screen opportunity, and
yeah, that's probably an understatement.
Can't decide whether the Turkish fans are for or against their foul shooters.
I know. Well, seems to work for them.
Bali doing a nice job there on those two.
Wellington Silva. Path just kind of opens up for him. Final seconds, final shot. And it drops for Sampaio. And that'll do it for the third quarter. A much, much better third quarter for Brazil. They score 18 points against 18 points for Turkey as well. So a much more even 10 minutes of play.
Well, the team from Turkey electing to do quite a bit of substituting that time. Everybody from the bench got in. The big three were only together. I don't think they were together at all, actually, in that entire third quarter. Really left up to Efeturk to be the lone super-sized guy out there. Brazil doing a fine job of getting inside and taking advantage of that slight height mismatch, keeping the ball best they could away from Efeturk and up against one of the other slightly shorter players. And nice job by Brazil there to pull themselves back into the game. Just remind everybody, Rob, that after the game today, we will have the presentation of the Toyota Player of the Game. Toyota, of course, the official vehicle sponsor for Team Canada's wheelchair basketball teams and the official mobility partner of this 2017 U23 World Championships. On other games, of course, our other major sponsor, Sunrise Medical.
They've been making those quickie wheelchairs for
many
decades.
years. And they use elite wheelchair basketball athletes to help them design the chairs. They're lightweight, adjustable, high performance. They're built for maneuverability and power. And it doesn't matter whether you're playing pickup ball or world championships or a world championship game. If you're in a quickie all court, you got a decided advantage over your Czech, unless of course they have one too. In which case, it's a fair game.
There you go. So Bullet back into the game for Turkey. Here we go, fourth quarter action. See if the Turkish side can reestablish the dominance we saw in the opening half. And what a shot to begin.
Volley on fire. He hit one from the left side. He hit a couple of foul shots, hit one from the right side. Brazil's running out of ideas on how to check this guy.
Volley now with 14 points in the game. Still, though, Turkey spreading the scoring around well. I mean, they've got two players now with 14, one with 12, and then several other players with somewhere between 2 and 9 points.
A nice little bank shot from the left side by Sampaio there.
Gunaydın back into the game. Still going to be Turkish ball. Bullet. Bali. Gunaydın takes his time. Short. Sampaio. Wellington Silva back in for Sampaio. Wellington Silva. No, but rebounded. Sousa. And he is fouled.
Well, Deduce with a heads-up play there. Sousa waiting in that lane. It's fouled in the act of shooting, and he'll go to the line. Good aggressive play by Brazil to force that ball inside.
Rayson Sousa. We could use the Brazilian players' full names, in which case it would be Rayson Douglas da Silva Sousa. But as we often hear...
But who's got that kind of time?
Right. In the international sports, Brazilian names are shorter than that. Gunaydın. Bullets up. Nope. But Turkey rebounds. Bullet again. Bagley, still time on the shot clock, but he hits from three-point land.
Wow. Bagli's just having a tremendous game here. None of the other Turks really are impressing me with their outside shooting except for him. He is literally on fire right now. Cannot miss.
Nice idea there by Brazil, but that pass did not work for Miranda. Actually, that was Dedeos.
Seen a few interesting three push calls in this tournament, Rob. The player's not arguing, though, so.
Sousa takes the inbound from Wellington Silva. Sampaio, or rather that was Da Silva. And it won't fall. Gunaydın. Bagley. By the end of the tournament, we'll have all the names sorted out. Maybe even by day 2, but 12 teams, 12 different team names, sets of names to learn. So,
well, we've been listening to the team manager's tapes of all the names, Rob, and I think we're probably way ahead of the game compared to most years when we have to just try some sort of phonetic.
Well
spelling.
Well done by the tournament organizers to take care of that, and we'll do our best to incorporate that into our call as we go along. 7:09 to go here in the fourth quarter. 64-29. Turkey leads Brazil. And Bullet from long range, and he's short. Turkish side will play Iran tomorrow. And for Brazil, it'll be a test against Italy. Should be fairly even as well. A couple of good games on the docket tomorrow. Sampaio, nice off the window and in.
Well, I hate to be the statistician on that last series. There was, I don't know how many steals and turnovers. And Sampaio finishes it off with a nice little reverse hook.
Sampaio grabs the rebound. Sousa has a bit of room and tries to force a pass underneath, and that never had a chance.
I think Deuce was going for the steal. Sousa thought he was going for the 2-on-1.
Foul against Brazil, non-shooting.
No, I don't even know that Sousa really touched him there. I think he just lost his balance. And it's hard to imagine that a light guy like that could knock over a big guy like Ganaiden.
Gunaiden makes no mistake.
So that's the first outside shot by someone other than Barley for the Turks in a long time, Rob.
Wellington Silva in for Sampaio. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Sampaio from long range. Looked like it had a chance. Shen for Turkey. No. Not fouled in the act of shooting. Or was he, Coach?
He was shooting, definitely. So he'll go to the line. That was a nice little left-hand scoop shot at high speed.
It's the fifth game of the schedule today. In case you missed the earlier games, Iran beat Australia. It was Great Britain over the U.S. Canada took care of Italy. Germany romped past South Africa. And then the last game on the schedule will be Japan against France. So a busy first day here at the Men's Under-23 World Wheelchair Basketball Championships.
Shen's going to have to work on that foul shot ritual there. There he goes, dribbling on the outside instead.
Burak Shen, 18-year-old. He's a 1.5. And, Coach, just remind the viewers again who maybe aren't used to how the points work.
Well, the point system, Rob, is based on your functional ability within the chair. So players that have full range of motion in all directions with their trunk and arms, classified 4.5. And then as the function gets adjusted, say a class 4, for instance, can lean in all directions except for one. By the time you get to a class 1, that's an athlete who has a limited trunk function, can't rotate or lean forward or backwards without losing their balance. And often you see those players sitting in lower chairs with higher levels of strapping. On your team, you're allowed 14 points on the court. And so as a coach, you got to be a bit of a arithmetic whiz.
One of the ways I like to look at it is a good player with a low number is a valuable asset.
Absolutely. Anytime you can have a player of a lower classification point checking someone of a higher classification, it's a bonus for your team.
Efaturk slides it underneath for Taz.
Tash there with the scoop shot, and Anderson De Silva was coming in for the big jam block, but missed.
Yeah, we almost have the rare block in wheelchair basketball.
That is true. Not as common as in the stand-up game, for sure.
And nice hoop by Sampaio. A nice pass, too, from Dos Santos. Dos Santos in with 3 fouls. Now it doesn't matter anymore. 4 minutes to go. Substitutes back or into the game for Turkey. Erdenci swings it across, but then it's back to Efaturk again.
Efaturk with a nice little bank shot, so the Turkish team, who I'd complained about not being able to shoot from the outside, all of a sudden
Can.
hitting at will.
Sampaio on the nice feed from Wellington Silva. Volkan Gulam handling the ball now for Turkey. Thought about shooting, then goes to Erdenci. Puts it up. Good look. And then struggles to retain possession.
You know, Turkey had such a big lead in that first half, Rob. It looked like they came out the second half a little bit too calm, a little bit too placid. And it almost looks like they're ready to mail this one in. And Brazil, of course, not giving up, battling back extremely well.
Sampaio, Silva, Sampaio. Two have found a good connection here in the second half. Efaturk feeds it forward for Gürkan Taş, but Sampaio comes back and at least knocks it away.
That was excellent defense by Sampaio. Moved his chair quickly, reached out, tipped the ball away without fouling Tash. And both players going at a very high speed, so excellent defense by Sampaio.
Gulam. Watched by Diego De Deus. Both low point players, and there the shot again from Efaturk. And he's money from that range.
Well, his bank shot is sure on fire. I'll give him that. And that is a sweet spot, that 45 for the bank.
And a nice basket there from Dos Santos. Efaturk now from this side.
There's a Turkish player down, Rob, so they got another 4-on-5.
Gulam from just inside the three-point line. And now the whistle sounds. So that Turkish player will be helped back up. This is Burak Sen.
Well, the way it works when there's a player down who cannot put themselves back into playing position, if they're in danger, the whistle blows immediately, obviously. If not, unfortunately, they have to stay where they are until there's a change of possession.
73-37 for Turkey. 2:15 to go, fourth quarter, opening game of the tournament for both teams. Turkey, the reigning European champions at the under-22 level, which is virtually the same team. Sampaio, good work here inside, and they can't finish it off with De Deus.
Well, that is on Dos Santos, and
I'm trying to remember if that's his fourth or fifth.
I
That's his
think
fifth.
that may be it for him. That'll be his fifth foul, and
He comes out.
we saw this morning one of the Iranian players got fouled out, and on his way out he went or did a complete lap of the gym, slapping each referee's hand. I wish I'd have thought of that as a coach. What a great way to buy some time so you can get your sub ready. The show of supposed great sportsmanship, in fact, is just a bit of a time buy.
Dos Santos is out of the game. In for Brazil, Gonçalves and Lopez. Gulam looks. Now Erdenci from 3-point. No. So 95 seconds left. Much better half by Brazil. Looking for a last little push here. Wellington Silva with an underhand pass now ends up in the hands of Dedeos, and Brazil's going to keep the ball.
Dedeos, class 1 player, sits kind of low, so he was in a bit of trouble there amongst the trees.
Efeturk, if he can get into that bank shot range, he's pretty solid from there. And that's where the pass comes. Instead, he goes underneath, and it is Volkan Gulam with the basket. Silva for Brazil. We're inside a minute to play. He's got time and space. And off the rim, Sampaio battling underneath. And it's Brazil ball. So they're fighting to the finish.
Sampaio there really aggressive on the offensive boards and gets rewarded as the ball goes off the Turkish player.
Pretty even second half. If you look at the scoring in just the second half, 34-28 for Turkey. So Brazil, it's the kind of game they wanted to play start to finish.
And a little bit of a slow start by Brazil, and of course Turkey with those three big guys in there are really a force to be reckoned with as the European champion.
One more game on the schedule coming up tonight, and that'll be Japan against France.
And that'll wrap up the Pool B play for the day. This game, of course, wrapping up Pool A.
And of course, it's interesting how the ratings and the rankings go, because it's based on 4 years ago, which most teams, none of the players are back, but it's
with this age group, Rob, we talked about it a little bit earlier. You know, being so strict as a 4-year cycle, much like the Paralympics. But in this case, you know, if you're 19 years old, or 20 years old, I should say now, you know, you don't have another chance.
No,
so you really don't get to, you don't get to play as a 22-year-old, which is a big advantage, obviously.
Silva off the glass. And Turkey with the cheers of their crowd.
That's right, the celebratory song.
And the ball might just end in the hands of Efeturk. So a better fight put up by Brazil in the second half. But the horn sounds, and it's 77-37 for Turkey over Brazil. Opening game of the tournament for both teams, but a strong start for the European champions and a much better finish for the Brazilian side.
Well, Team Turkey came out with a tremendous start. They just couldn't do anything wrong, getting inside at will. The three big guys pounding down against the two big Brazilians. Always a mismatch there. And credit to Turkey and their sportsmanship. You know, they pulled off the pressure. They pulled out, let lots of their bench players play, gave the Brazilians a chance to get back in the game and salvage their pride. And that's a tremendous thing to do in sport when you can respect the other team's abilities regardless of how good or not so good they may be. And Efeturk, the team leader there, signaling to the crowd his pleasure with their support.
The Turkish players gathering at center court, and ceremonial
going to have to check the rule book, Rob. It seems like every winning team gets to do their cheer at center court, and the losing team has to do it down by their own bench. So I'll have to see if that is in fact a new rule that we should be looking at. The winning team gets the territory, as it were.
Well, Coach Tim Frick will be back in a short time with the next match.
We'll have the Toyota player of the game, actually, Rob, in a few moments.
Yep. Before
maybe a chance to take a look at tomorrow's schedule.
Well,
there it is right there.
No, not much of a doubt here. Afaturk Ahmet.
And he's there with Trevor Kerr, a longtime referee or official here in Canada, one of wheelchair basketball's most dedicated officials. Certainly a thrill for both of them out there as Afaturk wins the Toyota Player of the Game. Toyota, of course, the official vehicle sponsor for Team Canada and the official mobility partner of this particular tournament.
So again, both of these teams back in action again tomorrow. For Turkey, they'll face Iran in the final game tomorrow night. And for Brazil, they'll face Italy in the first game tomorrow morning. So they're playing on opposite ends of the spectrum. The Brazilian team will be back here for tip-off at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time tomorrow morning.
And of course, the marquee matchup, if you're a Canadian tomorrow, is at 6 o'clock as Canada takes on Australia, a pair of 1-0 teams. And somebody will be leaving the undefeated column after that game tomorrow, and let's hope it's Team Canada. Not that we're homers or calling favorites or anything.
Well, our player of the game was Ahmet Afaturk. He had 16 points, 4 rebounds, shot 50% from the field, and 100% from the free throw lines, 2 for 2 in that category. So he certainly showed us something to begin the tournament, and a very athletic Turkish side comes away with a 77-37 win over Brazil.
And don't forget, one last thing, Rob, tomorrow is the 150 playlist play day. 150 Canadian sports have been chosen to, in recognition, I guess, of our 150 years of Confederation. And you can try wheelchair basketball at 5 p.m. tomorrow here at the Mattamy Athletic Center. And you know, anybody that's anyone in Canadian sport knows that this is the former Maple Leaf Gardens, a storied facility. I was reading today the story of Muhammad Ali and George Chuvalo's famous bout that was held here. Of course, the Leafs last winning the Cup in 1967 here.
Harlem Globetrotters played some hoops here.
That's right. And you can play here too tomorrow at 5 o'clock. Come out and watch some wheelchair basketball, and then you can stay and watch Canada and Australia.
All right, lots more to come from the men's under-23 World Wheelchair Basketball Championships. We've got one more game coming up shortly between Japan and France.